This episode was recorded before the passing of the American hero and my dear friend Clint Hill. I adored Mr. Hill. His kindness, wisdom, and humility were unmatched. His love story with Lisa was one for the ages, a beautiful testament to enduring love. I'm truly grateful for the time we shared, and I'll always carry his memory with me. Now, I just want to read the caption I wrote and post it on Instagram to honor him. Some say never meet your heroes, but I'm so grateful I met mine. Mr. Hill was an American hero, a truly remarkable man. I first met him during a podcast interview, never expecting our paths to cross again, but fate had other plans, and the Hollands and the Hills became like family in no time. He and Lisa welcomed us into their home with open arms, and the conversations around their dinner table remain some of my most cherished memories. He once told me, "Allison, you're one of a kind," but in reality, that was him. He had a heart big enough to make everyone feel special, including my 2 daughters. He treasured every picture they drew for him, just as we treasured every moment with him. His wisdom, kindness, and warmth left a lasting mark on all of us, and his book, one I first read on a train in 2018, unknowingly set me on the career path I walk today. He changed my life. Losing him is heartbreaking, but knowing him was an honor. Thank you, Mr. Hill, for your friendship, your service, and your example. You were even greater than I could have ever imagined. Welcome back to the Kennedy Dynasty podcast. I'm your host, Allison, and today I'm here with everyone's favorite history teacher, as I've said forever. It's Ryan Pryor.
Hi, everybody. It's me.
Yeah.
In the flesh.
He's here.
I'm here.
I keep having to remember that we are also doing audio, and for audio only, they will be just hearing this. But
Right.
You should really go to YouTube for a special treat.
To set the scene, we are sitting in front of the same background that we sat upon when we filmed Cocktails and Clam Chowder.
That's right. And this is
2 years ago.
This is only the second recording we've ever done in person, except for Cocktails and Clam Chowder.
Cocktails and Clam Chowder in August of 2022.
No,
2022. So,
oh my God, we're so old.
yeah,
It's
2.5 years ago.
I can't believe it. Okay, before we get started, though, I am sipping out of I should put it in front of the cord. I am sipping out of my Kennedy Dynasty glass, which I love so much, a little Jack Daniels. But Ryan here, please stop. This is a special episode, and we will talk about why it's a special episode in a moment. But for this special episode, Ryan is going to also be drinking Jack Daniels, which he does not like, but that's okay. He respects me, and that's the only whiskey I have in my house. And secondly, he is not going to like this glass. But you know what? Because of me and because of what this day is, he's going to drink out of it with joy in his heart. And I love the logo on his chest at the same time. So rip the towel.
Oh, cripes. Oh, yeah.
Go Big Orange. Go Big Orange. Woo! Let's go, baby. Go Vols.
Nothing sucks like a big orange.
Oh, that's not true. All right. Cheers.
Cheers. Go Buckeyes.
Oh. What do you think about the Jack?
It tastes fine. It's like
Runs
sugar
in my
water.
blood.
It's like sugar water.
It goes down so smooth.
No, it should have a bite. Whiskey should have a bite. I think JFK would agree.
Do you?
Yeah.
You know, he might. He was known to only sip whiskey. He would kind of nurse one for a long time.
Yeah,
Smoked
much
lots
like
of
my
cigars.
favorite statesman, Winston Churchill. People thought he was drunk all the time, but the fact is that Winston Churchill had scotch and sodas, Johnny Walker Blue, with soda water, and he would start one at like 11 o'clock in the morning. Now, okay, 11 o'clock in the morning is a little early to drink whiskey.
That's scary.
But when he would recharge it, he would just add more soda water throughout the day. And he would usually only have a couple of ounces of whiskey throughout the day. He would drink, on average, half a bottle of champagne at lunch.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. We also have Caroline here. She is here in the
Caroline
back.
Smith Pryor's in the house.
Fantastic. She's here.
I just wanted to say, what about the champagne? He drank copious amounts of it.
He drank a lot of champagne.
Yeah. So we're here tonight, and this is, well, we did plan to record this in person.
We did.
Mostly to record, but also y'all had to be in town, so it just kind of worked out. You're gonna sleep upstairs. But should I let you reveal? I guess I should say it.
Go ahead. Say it. It's yours.
Friends, fellows, people that have been here a long time. I'm saddened to tell you that this is probably the last ever episode of Kennedy Dynasty podcast. I'm going to leave it. It's still going to exist. Still go back and listen to old episodes. Still do all the things. You never know. I do have one episode idea that I really want to do, and I swear to God I might just drop it in a year if I can ever do it. I really will. But, yeah, it's time. And I'm sure you guys have seen it coming for a while. I mean, I've been pretty sporadic with my episodes.
You've been busy.
Your girl's been busy. And it really kind of does break my heart a little bit to say, like, this is it, because it started everything for me, and I just have such a soft, sensitive place in my heart for this podcast and what it's brought me and how amazing it's been and how it's connected me to you guys and so many other people and the people that have come on the podcast and guests and everything. It's been just a whirlwind of an experience that's almost 5 years in April. So it's very hard for me to close a chapter that's been so wonderful. But I do think it's a little unfair to the listeners to like keep you guys hanging on and thinking that something's coming or not or whatever. And honestly, I have a beyond full-time job now and I just can't manage it. So that's where we're at.
We forgive you. I forgive you. I don't know about your listeners, but I forgive you.
Well, I've had a few podcasts that I loved and it does suck. So I do feel bad. And I'm going to miss, like, I love this. Like, I love the banter. It's like reconnected. Yeah, tell the story about how it reconnected us.
Well, so, two things. One, the podcast started 5 years ago. We were sitting there in the beginning of the pandemic. It was, I think, March, middle of March, right after the lockdown. And Caroline and I were sitting out in the backyard, and we were drinking wine and sitting there. And I get a call, and it's from Allison. And I pick up my phone, and I go, Allison's calling me. And Caroline goes, Allison Holland? And I was like, yes, Allison Holland.
You're like, ignore.
I know. And I pick it up, and I was like, sup? And we had not spoken, I don't know, in a couple of months. And a minute. And we hadn't seen each other in person in probably 3-4 years. And Allison was like, I'm going to do a podcast. I want to do a podcast. And I was like, okay, what do you want to do a podcast about? And she was like, I want to do it over the Kennedys. And I was like, okay. She was like, will you come on and talk about the Kennedys with me? And I was like, I would be happy to come on and talk about anything with anybody, but specifically you. And so, about 2 weeks later, we got on Zoom and we recorded a very bad episode.
Oh, I haven't listened to it.
It's so bad.
Okay, so I went back and listened to just little bits of past episodes, and it pains me. I mean, oh my God, how have you guys listened to me? How do you listen to my voice? I don't
first
understand.
episode was rough. And then the second episode was better because Caroline was on that episode.
No, and it was named after National Treasure.
And so, but then, so the last 5 years we've become better friends, and we're now Caroline and I are on their Allison and Jess fridge, which I think is a real milestone.
It is a huge
milestone. If we had any pictures of anybody anywhere, they would be in our home. There
are very few people that make it to the fridge. I will say.
So guys, this has been a beautiful thing.
It has.
The second thing I think that's really important to note is that 5 years later, we've had just as much fun as we had the first time around.
Yeah.
And so the thing I'm going to miss the most about this podcast is how much fun it has been. But it would be unfair to your audience, and it would be unfair to your career to not allow the next progression of your life to take place. So that's why we're here. So tell us why are we here for the last time? What's happened in your life? What is going on right now that is causing you to not be able to do this anymore?
Well, anybody that's been listening for a while, then you've kind of seen this trajectory of my life since early 2023. I have a career in film now, which literally came straight from the podcast. I've said this before. I'll say it again just in case this is someone tuning in for the first time in a while or ever. But briefly, I connected with the Hills, Mr. Hill and Lisa Hill, Clint Hill, for a podcast episode. I contacted them over and over and over and wanted to interview them because they wrote my favorite books ever, and they agreed, and then we connected, and it went really well, and snowball. I now own a production company with Lisa Hill, and we are making films. Like, we're full on
legitimate films.
Yeah. We have like
titles and everything.
A lot going. 3 to 4, like in various stages of production.
3 or 4.
And it's been such a blessing, and it literally birthed out of this podcast. And not only that, though, like that apart, I have also just connected with so many people that I adore. I mean, I almost want to start naming names, but I don't because I don't want to forget someone that's been so impactful. But like truly like lifelong connections and friends have come out of this, and experiences. I'm a part of Next Gen with White House Historical and just things. It's been such a blessing, and it was such an outlet to me as a mother, and that's what it was for me to begin with. I wanted something that was mine and something that I was producing because I felt like I don't know, I felt like there was a market for it, and I was like, shit, I'm going to do it. And I did, and I'm just really grateful. And it's literally, I've just pushed and pushed and pushed, even when it was hard and not making any money and not doing all the things. And I'm proud of myself, I guess I could say.
I think you should be proud of yourself. In the words of the great Winnie the Pooh, and I'm paraphrasing here.
Please do.
But how lucky are you to have something so wonderful to say goodbye to?
Damn, Pryor.
Yeah.
Trying to draw tears.
Winnie the Pooh.
What's some of our favorite moments from the show?
Got to talk about it, right? You do a greatest hits. This is the greatest hits. Let's talk about it. So I went back and I listened to a few from between us. Now, admittedly, I only listened to the ones that we did.
I understand.
So
I also only went back and listened to the ones we did.
You obviously have
I
one.
was mostly just preparing for this,
right.
So that's why.
So here's what we're going to do, though. We'll talk about the ones we did, and then I do think at the end you should talk about your favorite of all time. Okay? It doesn't have to be us. I mean, obviously, like you did an episode with Mr. Hill,
hard.
and you did an episode with all sorts of crazy cool
favorites.
people. So here's what I'll say. First of all, the best episodes we ever did. Best episodes. Highest quality. You already know it. Say it with me. PT 109.
Cue the music.
In 43, they put to sea 13 men and Kennedy.
First of all, two things.
Yep.
Strike, just jump out at me. One, what an incredible story.
Oh, I was going to say Jimmy Dean, but yeah.
Well, no, I'm getting there.
Yeah.
Great story.
Totally.
About a crashing and living on a desert isle and surviving with coconuts. But yes, the best part of that episode was our attempt to get you sponsored by Jimmy Dean pure pork sausage.
I tried more times than I care to admit. I have DMs with Jimmy Dean.
Yeah. Well, Jimmy Dean's dead. The
right.
company.
But I have DMs, and sadly, never got a response.
Never got a response.
Me in the DM box.
And for those of you who don't understand the allure of breakfast sausage, Jimmy Dean makes the best of the breakfast sausages.
Greatest.
The greatest. Down. And it comes in logs. If you're not from the South, I know some of your listeners.
I probably have one of my friends.
Yeah, it's a log. And on a Sunday morning or a Saturday morning when you've got company. Or
Not
if
Sunday. We got church.
Well, you got church. But on Saturday morning. On a Saturday morning when you got company.
Yeah.
Or if you're just having a good day, you cut you up one of them logs, you put them in the frying pan, and that's a good breakfast right there.
It's a great one.
It fills you up.
It's already in the shape.
And that you still got a chance, Jimmy Dean. This could be
okay, yes.
Your greatest spokespeople.
Anything for you.
Anything.
Literally. But also,
give us your logs.
Yes, please. Please. But also, there are a lot of episodes that exist, and this show's going to keep going on. So you can slide in an ad any time of the day. Also, I've used great SEO. So a lot of my episodes are very searchable and pop up during.
But if you're looking for probably our most fun episodes, I would say the 4-part PT 109 series was top notch. Top notch.
There was another one that came up too. What was the other one that we did that was multiple parts?
I think Cuban Missile Crisis was also very good. Of course, Hot Topic.
Yeah.
And also it features my favorite Russian General Secretary of the Soviet Party, Khrushchev.
Yeah.
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 You know Khrushchev.
I've heard of him.
Yeah. Actually, I like Brezhnev better, but mostly because of his eyebrows.
Yeah. I mean, that's a winner.
Do you know Brezhnev's eyebrows?
No.
Okay. Well, hold on real quick.
Should I say yes?
No. Okay. I think it's okay. Brezhnev was kind of an unknown.
I hate to foil a little bit of the magic of the show. There were very few moments within the show with Pryor that I would come off so stupid that I'd be like, I can't leave that in the episode.
Look at this
and
man.
I would get rid of it.
Look at Leonid Brezhnev.
This is one of those that I would have cropped, but I'm not going to.
Leonid Brezhnev.
Oh, iconic. The arch is unparalleled.
Looking right there. Just zoom in.
Was he a nightmare? I don't know.
Actually, I think he was. I think he was pretty. He was only premier for 4 years.
Okay.
Yeah, and maybe I'm wrong there, but it was not. He was not a particularly. Anyway.
Okay.
He never faced the Kennedys.
Not
like
once.
Khrushchev did. But yeah. I loved, Cuban Missile Crisis. A lot of intrigue there.
What? There was another one though that was a long one.
There was a couple of extended episodes. I would say just on an individual basis, if you want to go back and listen to the first episode, obviously a little cringy. If you keep going down, if you keep going down the line though, and you listen to there's an episode lovingly entitled "The phrase those who don't know their history are doomed to repeat it is a bunch of bullshit." It's a really great philosophical episode.
It is.
And then we did a 4-part series, or we did a 2-part series on the elections of 1960
That's what I'm thinking of.
and 1964, which were both really good.
Yeah.
Mostly because I only did the first one because you let me do the second one which was about Lyndon B. Johnson. So if you want to go listen to
Let's argue about Johnson.
let's argue about Lyndon B. Johnson.
It's there.
It's there. It's out there. Lyndon B. Johnson, America's greatest president. I said it.
Do you mean it? Yeah, he doesn't mean it.
I mean it a little bit.
Do you really?
Top 5. Top 3.
Who's your top one?
Top 1, Theodore Roosevelt.
Okay, fair.
While we're talking about
Caroline,
this,
who's your top one?
My boy Jimmy Carter.
Jimmy Carter.
She loves Carter.
She loves Jimmy Carter.
Yeah.
She's R.I.P. my guy. Up there in heaven. So, not to get too deep into the weeds, but one of the things that Allison and I have been doing over the last non-podcast we've been doing is developing a board game. Yes. And the board game really, I think, ties into our... If we'd had the board game back when we first started,
oh my God,
every episode would have been great.
Honestly, if we had the board game when we started, the podcast would have been the board game.
So, guys, here's the board game.
Don't give it away too much because
I'm not going to give it away too much.
I'm going to create a brand out of it.
So here's the deal. The board game is centered around 2 basic principles. That every president can be determined by 2 characteristics. Intelligence and character, right? Smart. So the way that I like to describe it is you're either a dum-dum or a smart.
Wait, no, but you're on that.
Sorry, yeah. On the XY axis.
Yeah.
So you're either a dum-dum or a smart, and you're either high character or you're low character. And that's basically every president.
You can put them, I mean, we have done it, and we're not going to do that on this podcast because I don't have opinions, but...
For those of you, let's just talk about our guy. JFK, high character, smart.
Yes.
Like,
and one more thing.
He's in that top right quadrant.
One more thing about the thing. We do it according to the times.
According to the times.
So whether there be philandering or whatever, okay, we don't get into that. We say for the time, as the president, where do they land on the plane?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nixon, low character, smart.
100%.
Lyndon B. Johnson, sort of mid-character, smartish.
Plead the 5th.
Yeah.
So, but
Jimmy Carter, high character, pretty smart.
Almost too high character.
Almost too high
almost
character.
Too much.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Almost too high character.
So anyway, great game. Like literally.
Be on the lookout for it.
Draw your axis and do it at a dinner party. And
Hasbro, we're coming for you.
Yeah. I was like about to put Hasbro on the plane. I was like, high character, very smart. It is smart or dumb though.
Mr. Hasbro. Please.
This is hilarious because he's literally pitching for all these sponsorships on the last episode. Who the frick would get on board with this?
Smart people.
High character smarts.
High character smarts. Anyway, be on the lookout for that at your nearest purveyor of fine goods.
Yes.
So back to the episodes.
Yeah.
Those are really good. Did we do one on the moon, the program, the space program? I think we did, but I'm trying to remember. And I didn't look. This was not in my research.
Oh my God, did I not do a podcast on the space program this entire
I'm
time?
not sure you did.
We can't end this.
Yikes.
There's no way. I talked about it a little bit with John, but I don't think that's what the whole episode was about.
I don't think you ever did an episode on the space program.
We did a great episode on Disney.
I probably talked about it a few times here or there, but not a designated.
We did the Peace Corps, and you didn't do the space program.
Listen, we did the Pentagon Papers.
Oh, that's another great 4-parter. I think it was a 4-parter.
No, it was one.
Was it one?
Yeah, we talked about it in other ones, but then it was a one. Okay. But here's the thing. You know why I didn't?
Bay of Pigs was 2.
Yes. You know why I didn't do the space program? Because I was really hoping to just instill in you guys to take this and run with it. I want you to share history in the future with everybody because if we don't learn it, we're doomed to repeat it, right?
Sure.
How was that pitch? Terrible?
Great.
Awful?
Jimmy Dean, hear us.
God, I can't believe I didn't do that. That actually makes me want to kick myself. That's so stupid. Why didn't you tell me that earlier? It's
I didn't think about it.
Years.
I didn't think about it. Hey, forgive her, guys. She's been really busy. She's a mom.
Yeah, I'm a mother. I've been a mother the whole time.
How dare you?
Yeah, I can't believe you would judge me for not having one. I'm busy.
She's busy. She's a mom.
Ooh, speaking of that.
Yeah.
How do we feel now? Now we can kind of say it. How do we, moderate yourself. How do we feel about the people that have said we banter too much, giving us bad reviews, and all the things?
This goes out to all those people. Mm-hmm. That's it.
I second that.
Who cares? Why do you care?
That was bad.
No, look at me. For those of you who are not watching, I'm looking at the camera. Look at me.
Really?
Life is too damn short. We spend most of it running between Walmart and the frickin' auto lube and also, the various other sundry bullshit tasks we have to, maintain to keep an existence that is above the poverty line. And you out there decided that two friends bantering was your line in the sand between 3 and 5 stars. Look at me.
Really look at him.
Reorganize your priorities.
Also,
and I'll say that to your face.
You're free entertainment.
Free.
Oh, and one more thing, guys. I'm going to cut all this out. One more thing, guys.
That's good.
What bothers me the most is when I would get a review that was like, I hated that ad. Didn't like when you did that ad read. It's free for you. You can skip it. That's how I made the 5 cents. Like, what do you mean? I'm sorry that I gave you a better help. What?
Negative.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, I bled money over this podcast. That gave me negative 5 cents. That made me nary break even.
Yeah. Nary. Anyway, to that end.
But to everyone that left good ones and ones that literally made me cry.
We love you.
About how it made you feel like you had a friend in the room, or how you felt like someone was with you on a topic that you loved. And like, I got one time. I won't say the name or anything, but it like has stuck with me so heavily. A mother messaged me one time that her child was in St. Jude and she would listen to the podcast and it would make her feel escape for a minute and learn about something that she liked, and she felt like we were friends because of the way that it was done. And I don't know, it impacted. I shed more tears than I can count about that one, and I'm just grateful for the connection. I know how that feels. I mean, I have podcasts that I connect with and love the people. I feel like I know them somehow. And I don't know. I hope over time that this has provided you with some kind of escape, or, you learned something. I don't know, or invigorated love for history and how important it is for us to learn and understand and
the ancient Greeks. The ancient Greeks invented what we, of course, in the modern era think of as theater, TV shows, television, movies, whatever. And the ancient Greek word, or the now English word, catharsis, comes from an ancient Greek word, which I do not remember the name of at this current juncture. But do you know what catharsis means?
Like cathartic.
Cathartic, right? It means to feel something like in tangent, or like you are feeling something because other people are presenting the information to you. And one of the things I always tell the kids in theater is we have one job. You have one job when you're entertaining people. You're supposed to make them feel something. Mm-hmm. The best of the best make people, if they want to make you feel sad, they make you feel sad. If they want to make you feel happy, they make you feel happy. If they want to make you feel excited or scared or whatever, that's what they can get you to do. Mm-hmm. That really defines mastery of the art. And what you have done for 5 years is master the art of catharsis, right? You've made people feel whenever they wanted to learn something, they've learned something. When they needed some jovial, just back and forth between two lug nuts like us, you've facilitated that. Whenever somebody needed to feel connected and safe, you've made them feel that way, just like the story you just told. So if the ancient Greeks were here and they were judging you by your fruits would be fruitful.
I'm gonna cry.
Yeah, catharsis.
That's so nice. But that is everything for appeal and entertainment. It is to make someone feel something.
You got to make someone feel something.
I learned in marketing.
And
that's the whole point.
Just going back to banter for a second, sometimes banter is there to make people feel like it's just a regular old day.
You're chilling at this round table.
You're just chilling at your round table. You're always welcome to join our banter. I think people who don't like banter, I'm just going to say it. I think people who don't like banter, I don't think they have enough friendship in their life. Community.
But you could find it in this podcast.
You can find it
Pryor
right here. So, Allison, we've talked about some of our favorite episodes together, and you've heard some bits and pieces from those episodes.
Yes.
Presumably, you've heard Jimmy Dean's great song, PT 109.
Absolutely.
Presumably, you've heard...
we didn't start the fire.
Yeah.
It was a big
one.
Building Berlin, Bay of Pigs Invasion.
Cool.
So, that's two things. I have two questions. One, over the years, I have come up with a couple of different sound bites.
Yeah. Oh, that's where you're going. Okay.
What's number one?
Prelude.
I'd agree with you.
Yeah.
I would say that Prelude, that was good. I will say, though, that is my opinion.
That is my opinion.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty good.
Also, I do want to give a shout out to my segments. Let's give In the News.
Big news story of the past 7 days.
Inspiring Clip of the Week.
Yeah.
One of the inspiring notes.
Oh, recommendation segment.
Recommendations.
Of course, then we would recommend it.
I did put out a little thing. It was only up for like a couple hours, so there probably wasn't a bunch. Let's just read off maybe 2 questions.
Elaine
Hutchinson. Thank you for the question. You're going to D.C. next month, and you're looking for a few hidden Kennedy spots. Go straight to Georgetown, go to Martin's Tavern, and eat in the proposal booth. You have to request it ahead of time that you want to eat in the proposal booth, but you want to go there. There's also the jump seat, I think is what it's called. No, what's it called, Jeffrey?
Something like that, yeah.
The rumble seat.
Rumble seat.
Yeah. That one's great. That's where they say that JFK drafted his inauguration speech, but I think that the proposal booth is the best. So go there, go walk down Georgetown. You can look up on Google the Kennedy Walking Trail thing. It's a whole thing. You can walk by all their houses that they lived in over time, and it's amazing. Like, pull up the pictures and kind of stand in front of it and take a minute and look at it. The Jackie restaurant is really cool. It's over by the stadium, isn't it, Jeffrey? Yeah. Those are my top ones. I would say Georgetown's like the best one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great.
Next question. Oh, Vicky has followed me for a while. Thank you, Vicky, for the question. You asked what's coming next for Kennedy Dynasty, and by now you know that nothing is, unfortunately. This is the end.
It's over.
But
it's done,
thank you for the
Vicky.
question, and thank you for being such a good supporter, and I hope you guys will keep supporting me. I'm still existing, just not in this
Watch your films, Vicky.
Yeah,
There's gonna
watch
be
my
films.
movies. Also, please follow me if you're not already at oh my god, I almost mixed up my Instagram handles. Follow me at Allison L. Holland. It's ALYSONL Holland, HOLLAND. Follow me there. I post a lot about the Kennedys, but also about my film stuff and what I'm doing. So if you care about me and the show at all and want to follow along, that's the best place to do it. Yeah. And Vicky does follow me there. Thank you, Vicky.
Thank you, Vicky. I think we've reached a natural conclusion.
Yeah.
We got to end on something positive.
Yeah.
So we've got to talk about the best thing that's come out of this podcast, besides our banter. Mm-hmm. What has been, besides your company?
Yeah.
Because we already talked about that.
We did.
That's old hat.
Yeah.
What's been the best thing for you as an individual that's come out of this podcast that we haven't already talked about?
Okay. I would say, my career is probably the best. What I've been able to show my girls, that they can kind of, do whatever, no matter what, if they just push really hard and work really hard. I have loved the connections that I've made, some amazing ones through different episodes and the podcast and whatever, but also I love working with the White House Historical Association. I'm an Next Gen leader there, and it's what's made me be able to go do amazing events. And, my whole part of being a part of that is because it's basically a group of young people that are pushing in their respective fields preservation of history and a care of history. And I do that every day, obviously, and I'm just grateful for the experiences I have with them. I've been able to go to the White House several times and go to really neat events and meet amazing people. Some of my best friends I've met there. Haley, shout out. Lindsay, shout out. I don't know. I'm really, really grateful for that experience in addition to my career and everything going with it. And God, I can't say how thankful I am. None of it would be anything without literally this show, without press and record in my bonus room 5 years ago. So I'm very thankful.
I'm not scrolling on my phone. I'm bringing something up that I want to say to you, which is this. So I think the greatest thing that I think Allison has done is actually doing the damn thing. Everybody has ideas. Everybody at some point, if you are a person of a certain type, has said, I could do a podcast. I could go out there and do it. But for Allison to sit there in March of 2020 and say, you know what, I'm going to do it. The difference between that and anybody else is that Allison then sat down and made 150 plus episodes over 5 years of this particular podcast. And it reminds me of a great little sort of snippet from my favorite president, Theodore Roosevelt, if you don't mind.
I don't mind.
The man in the arena. It is not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles or where the doer of deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs, who comes short again and again, because there is no effort without error and shortcoming. But who does actually strive to do the deeds, who knows great enthusiasms, the great devotions, who spends himself in a worthy cause, who at the best knows in the end the triumph of high achievement, and who at the worst, if he fails, at least fails while daring greatly, so that his place shall ever be with those cold and timid souls, or never be, with those cold and timid souls, who neither know victory nor defeat. And I think that you doing this for 5 years, you were the woman in the arena. You didn't let the critics dictate what you would and would not do. And the fact that you were willing to do it, committing yourself to it, the fact that we're here 5 years later is a testament to that goodwill, to that effort, to that skill. And I think your listeners are going to miss this podcast, not just because it's something that they could look forward to, but because they will miss you, the woman in the arena.
Jeez, what is going on with you? Oh, that's so nice.
I'm eloquent as hell.
Make it a soundbite. The thing is, too, Jeffrey's laughing. The thing is, too, I couldn't have done it without Ryan and Caroline. Obviously, they've been a huge part of the whole thing for 5 years. And
we've had a lot of fun.
We've had a lot of fun. I couldn't have done it without y'all. So I'm so thankful. Thank you.
I can't believe it's been as long as it's been since Cocktails and Clam Chowder.
We're in our 30s now. It's been that long. Ouch.
All right.
So, anyway, on that note, guys, I'm so grateful. Thank you for being here.
Goodbye to our 20s.
Yeah, they've been gone. Stay subscribed because you never know when I may drop one about the space race. Who knows? I feel like I did. It's got to be there. I'm going to find it after this. But if it's not, then I'll come back and do one. But anyway, love you guys. Thank you for everything. Cheers.
Cheers.
Big cheers. And
that's a wrap.
I don't even have, I was going to start plugging all the things. Don't have them to say. So thank you for listening, and I'll talk to you sometime.
Come on and vote for Kennedy. Vote for Kennedy. Keep America strong. Kennedy, he just keeps rolling up. Kennedy, he just keeps rolling up. Kennedy.